Okay, it started.
Take one. So yeah,
So we wanted to preserve the kind of curves in the top of the complex and then preserve that integrity as it goes through the complex. And our concept was to hang, I don't know, it's called like support wires or beams in that sense, and have them connect based like with like an industrial kind of like a strong I-beam, and add color to that, so it kind of is a sense of vibrancy but not as it goes through the structure. And then from underneath in the seating area, because we're following the same general curve, if you look up, it looks as though you're still seeing the curves of the ceiling because they kind of flow together. But based upon where you're standing, you have a different experience of how you look at the piece. And then we were discussing having can lights kind of stationed in the base of these little structures. So when you're looking at the glass complex from outside, it's kind of lit at night. So it creates this kind of interesting element within the school.
So is there anything actually in the center?
No, it's just, it would be...
It would be these two kind of lines the same way, because on the building you have this. This is sort of like the structure, and there's like this opening in the middle. So we preserved that same opening along with these two structural points in that canopy that's created by the curtain wall.
And then all of the connected points would follow the general curve here. So this curve is going to be preserved going through the entire.
Sort of like
so when you
down like this.
I mean, that's the pen. Like so, when you're looking up at it from down here, so say I'm looking up at it right now, you would simply just see the actual curve of the building, even though they would fall in different areas. So maybe this one would be located right there, and this one right there would fall right here, and fall right there, and like that. So it makes the same curve. It's just they're out there at different elevation points. So if you're standing here, you see something different in there. But when you're looking underneath, you kind of get the whole architecture of the building.
And you know, we would kind of, the way we'll split it up, it won't be nearly as like infectious as this is, like kind of a lot more sparse. And I don't think the support beams would be any thicker than the support wires would be any thicker than a wrist, if even that. And so you really, the focal point would be clearly the bars and not the wires.
I'm just curious, how would those bars be dramatized by, say, dramatic lighting, so that shadow would be cast from those?
I think it breaks up the building in interesting, like kind of fractional, faceted points on different floors as the kind of sun changes and the seasons change and days get longer and whatnot.
Yeah, you have cast shadows, like kind of. If the cast shadow could come off really cool as this thing across the
right.
So there's like a different little mosaic on the floor, different times of the day, and everything kind of fluctuates.
And the same way, like you guys all know what the beams we're going to use look like. Do you want to like diagram them?
Like those I-beams.
They're
foundational and they're strong and they represent what the business school represents.
And so yeah, they're what like very strong iron pieces. And just by the way they look like here, that's the marker. Like the way that they look, you have the shadows would even change during the day. Like you'd have like at one point cast shadow all here, and then this would be all lit up, and you wouldn't see that. But then by the end of the day, when the shadows are long, you have like very bright streaks on one side, funneling down, and at night you have the lights kind of like.
And we were discussing what the significance of using those beams are as far as the business aspect. Where they're foundational, they're rigid, they're strong, but they're going to be bent, and they show like a grace and a flexibility. So we're kind of discussing how that's kind of a contrast within the school itself as a business school, where it's like rigid, strong elements, but it's also being flexible and having integrity and things like that.
Very nice.
And yeah, I think that's good.
So is that group B's